Mambo ya Waluya kuwania kiti cha urais. Tumekuwa tunasema kwamba Waluya hajapewa nafasi. Lakini ni Waluya gani ambao wamejitokeza kusimama kuwania kiti cha urais? Na kabisa tunakuwa na seriousness kwamba anataka kuwa rais. Kwa mfano, sasa hivi tunaongea mambo ya 2027. Wale Waluya wote ambao wako mbele wanatuambia kwamba tungoje 2032. Hawajajitokeza, wanakuwa wanasema wako namba 3, wako namba 3. Kindiki amekuja tu juzi, amekuwa is not an elected deputy president. Yeye amekuwa appointed. Lakini bado wanasema kwamba 2027 wamwachie Ruto, ngoje 2032. 2032 Kindiki pia kuna matumaini kwamba atakuwa president. Ama watapewa tu. Na hao jamaa ambao wanasema hivyo wameanza kuchoka, wameanza kuzeeka. Sasa unaona tunalia kwamba hatujapewa nafasi kuongoza taifa la Kenya. Lakini nani amejitokeza? So mimi even at the right time, sitaki tu nikuwe tu nitasema kwamba nataka kuwa rais. At the right time tutakuja kutangaza azima yetu tutakuania kiti cha urais. Na nataka wenzako watuambie kwamba wewe Natembeya uweze kusababu ya hii na hii na hii. Sidhani kama kwa serikali, administration kwa serikali kwa muda mrefu shida Natembeya nini. Sidhani. Na nimekuwa na nafasi pia kufanya kazi na Wakenya. Sio kupitia tu wakati wa harambee tu wewe labda ni deputy president ama vice president umeitwa harambee unafanya na kwenda kukaa na watu na kuishi na watu. Kama DO, kama DC, kama county commissioner, kama RC, kaa na watu na kuelewa watu. Mimi naelewa watu hata shida zao mimi naelewa vizuri. So can we try now a different approach? Tumekuwa tunachagua wanasiasa. Tunataka kuwa mtu mwingine ambaye sio mwanasiasa tuone Kenya itaenda wapi. So masuala ya fedha ni Wakenya wenyewe wataamua kwamba watafuata mtu mwenye ako na fedha alafu achague Kenyangarika ambaye ataenda kula pesa zao ama wataangalia mtu ambaye watamchagua aenda alete rasilimali za Kenya na hakikisha kwamba Wakenya wanainuliwa hali yao maisha. Wasikae kama tu maisha magumu mpaka watu hawana hope. They're just hopeless.
Tukimalizia swala la Malaba tuzungumzie kuhusiana kidogo tu kwamba kesho mna mkutano pale katika shule ya msingi ya Malaba na tunatarajia kwamba viongozi kadhaa waje pale. Labda nipate nafasi ya kuweza kuzungumzia mkutano wa kesho, maandalizi kivipi na wakazi watarajia nini kesho?
Kesho tutakuwa na mkutano wa campaign na United Opposition yote itakuwa pale Malaba kuja kuongea na wakazi wa Malaba na kuomba kukura wampigie candidate wetu ambaye ni Said Panyako. Tumefanya mobilization ya kutosha na tuko na hakika kwamba watu wetu watakuja. Tuengage tu na watu pia waelewe sisi kama upinzani tunataka kwenda wapi, agenda yetu ni ipi. Hata kwa wakazi wa Malaba wenyewe pia wajue kwamba wakati wa mabadiliko pia umefika, kwa sababu Malulu alikuwa amechaguliwa mara 3 sio? Ya na hata kama kifo kilikuja na akaenda, of course tunakijutia na hizi jakuwa zote za Western by the way ilikuwa ni through causes of death, not maybe an nullification of an election. Ya kwamba mipango sasa kupangia Western inaanzia Malaba. Vile tumekuwa tunaongea na kwamba tunadhihirisha umoja wetu kama upinzani kwa kuja pamoja. Na viongozi wa upinzani tutasio watu wanaanzia Malaba tu kuja pamoja. Wamekuwa Mbeere North, wamekuwa Magarini, na sasa wanakuja Malaba. Kama nafasi itakuwepo pia, maana najua chama cha Wiper na fikiri kiko na candidate kule Kasipul Kabonda pia kuna uwezekano kwamba wengine wetu pia tutaenda huko. Pia mimi labda nikipata nafasi nitaenda kumsaidia pia Matiang'i kule Nyamira kuna by elections huko. Kwa hivyo kesho tuko sawa. Mimi naomba tu wakazi wa Kakamega hata siku tu Malaba peke yake, hata Bungoma wale karibu wakuje kwa wingi hapo Malaba, tukaribishe wageni wetu na tuonyeshe kwamba mabadiliko sasa yanaingia Western vile tumekuwa tunasema. Tutapata nafasi ya kuona wale watu ambao watakuwa na uongozi kuanzia 2027, maana wote watakuwa pale. Ile group yote ambayo atakuja kesho, rais wa Kenya na naibu wa rais wa Kenya na labda mawaziri wa ngazi ya juu watakuwa hapo kesho. So kuja waanze kuzoea viongozi wao mapema kuja kesho.
Yeah. Now, if I can take you back to Malaba by-elections. So there is this statement by the Prime CS. He stated that if Ndakwa loses, he might just lose his job, and ultimately the lawyer in general might, it will suffer a big loss. Do you think that this might be a big loss to the Mlembe nation that you so much represent?
We don't have anything to lose in this government because we don't have anything. You know, we must have something to lose. What are we losing? If we lose Mudavadi because he's been fired as a result of losing an election in Malava, I don't believe I've lost anything. Because what impactful things has Mudavadi done for the Luhya community over the years, and specifically for Malava? I doubt maybe Mudavadi has gone to Malava for anything, even for a funeral. They've never gone there. Yeah. So losing will just be a demonstration that the president has got a very useless and hopeless appointment in the Western region. And that if he's banking on those fellows to get him votes in Western, then he's banking on the wrong people. Yeah.
Now, there is this statement you repeatedly say, the linda kura yako, piga kura, sasa linda kura yako. And you've been heard repeatedly saying that the election day utakuwa kwa ground kweli. So according to me, it feels like you're very certain about maybe any plans to rig the forthcoming elections. Why are you so certain about plans to rig these elections?
This, we pick information, bits and pieces from the other side. Those are things that they say, that they are going to win this election by hook or crook. That means that they're ready to do anything. And I look at them, they've got no strategy, no plan, they have got no votes, but they're saying they're going to win. Are they going to win if they're not going to rig? And rig is not even about ballot stuffing. Rigging can even just by causing mayhem, ensure there's low voter turnout, especially in our strongholds, so that people don't come out to vote. And that's why we are saying we vote and we hang around there to ensure that nobody causes chaos. But then I also have faith in our security agencies because so far, even in our campaigns, they have been quite professional. And 27 is going to be a day for them to demonstrate their professionalism. Just by ensuring that you go vote, the place is peaceful, we don't have people carrying knives, shouting or burning tires. Because I'm told some of them are already burning tires. They're already buying tires to burn on 27th. Yeah, how we approach the election in this country sometimes is tragic. It's just about an opportunity for people to elect their leaders, and the story just ends there. So why do you want to come and interfere using other unorthodox methods? So when we talk like that, it's because we know these people. We know what they have done in the past. Some of them have been architects of ethnic skirmishes. We know how some of them even regard our people. Our people even live with them in Tarubo. And we know how they treat our people. They treat our people with a lot of contempt. So I wouldn't put it beyond them to come and do certain things because they just disrespect us and they may want to do something to give them undue advantage. But in a fair contest, Malava, there is no contest.
It's very clear you're craving for a very transparent election.
Yes.
So maybe I just want to know what some of these steps that you put in place just to ensure that it's free from any rigging.
No, we have got a civic duty as citizens of this republic to play by the rules, ensure that there's law and order. Of course, peace-loving Kenyans are going to provide them with the required support. We're going to play our part. We are not going to have to engage in any disruptive behaviors, but we are consistent. They're supposed to be neutral. They should not have any preferred candidates. IBC is not a government agency. So they should not behave like a government agency because they're like referees. The police as law and order. And that's what we're keeping reminding them. But also reminding them that in any case we have got any evidence that they're taking sides, then as the citizen of this republic, again, we've got a duty to protect our vote. And we are going to do exactly that. It won't be easy for anybody to walk to Malava and rig the election and walk away. It will not happen. It's going to be very difficult because we are going to be ready. Yeah, not to beat up anybody, but we're going to be ready to protect our vote. And any signs that there's rigging or somebody wants to interfere with an election, we're going to call them out and we're going to deal with them very firmly. Because even the law allows citizens even to make arrests, and we'll do that. I believe we get up, like here in Transvaal, when we were doing our 2020 election, there was an OCS who was rigging. Actually, was stuffing ballots. And we arrested him. Tulifunga OCS na kamba, tukaita OCBD akuja akamchukua. So even in Malava, let them try that one and they'll see what is going to happen. Yeah.
Good. Governor, we shift gears a little bit. Post Raila, he has been a force in Western politics.
Yes.
And Nyanza. Now that he's not there, how do you assess the future of millennial politics in terms of alliances, especially opposition politics? What is your...
Yeah, we have a very big vacuum in Westland. But of course, some of us began talking about Raila's succession even when he was alive, because we were saying we are going to chart our own course. Because some of us did not feel very happy when Raila joined the government, you know, and he was our choir master when we were all those things. And we never imagined that at any given time Raila would join Ruto's government, and he did. So when he passed on, we were ready. We were taking our community in a different direction. But the people who belong to ODM as a party, they can put on a brave face, but that party is going to implode. Yeah. Unless Raila was an insignificant political player and there was just an insignificant person in ODM, ODM will not survive his death. Because we believe the hold that he had on that party, nobody else can fill those shoes very quickly. It's going to take a bit of time. Like when Moi exited Kano, when he left power, you see where Kano is now. The same thing is going to happen too. Basically, a Luo party that took advantage of Western because we never had any strong leaders. So I think the people who are going to suffer most, who are going to be orphaned the most, are people in Luo Nyanza. But for Luyas, this presents an opportunity now to chart our own political course. And we are on it. We are on it.
You have you are the likes of Oparanya and stuff. Do you see them filling those shoes that have been left by Raila, or you as governor?
And maybe, and to answer this one too, who are these casualties, the loyalists of ODM that you feel will suffer more from this death?
Our big brothers can't fill those shoes because they have not even seen those shoes. They'll never see, but they cannot fill those shoes. You know, some of them were deputy party leaders of ODM. But when Raila died, Raila, through the party machinery, the elder brother, that should tell you something. Sometimes given titles that don't mean anything. They just meant hoodwink your people. The matter, and decisions have to be made. Then you are just shown where you belong. So our brothers are neither here nor there. Mudavadi doesn't have a political party. Understand that language. So it's there. Wetangula is struggling, whole speaker. And at one time I advised the guy, please, somebody that you trust. At some point when you stop being speaker, you can take over the party. Somebody actually went to court and the same thing, the court pronounced itself on that and told him cannot be a speaker and be a leader of a political party. He ignored both pieces of advice. In his own home, the word that we were contesting in Kapchai, actually that's where he comes from. And the whole speaker is fighting for political life there. So it doesn't matter whether he wins or loses, he's already lost. Because such a place, just sit at home and people will watch. But now he's really struggling and calling for support, he's deploying everything there. So
I'm sorry for cutting you. They're saying that you don't respect them. In fact, in some funeral in Kakamega, they said, even if you don't respect them as persons, just respect the 35.
Respect comes naturally. Yeah, and respect is earned, you know, and in politics, you must earn your stripes. So for us, we believe a 35+ year, another one 30, so over 70 years. You can't respect them. You can't. You can't. Because they have not impacted on the lives of our people positively. They have grown as individuals. They're some of the richest fellows in this country. I think when they declared wealth, Maldabadi was the richest cabinet secretary with about 4 billion shilling portfolio. But the people that they're supposed to be representing, so let them not demand for respect. They should have earned their respect. They've run out of time. I don't think they can earn for respect. It's very short. And by the way, I'm never disrespectful. I'll just say the truth. Because if I ask them for all this period we've been in government, what have we ever done for our people? They will not tell you. One of them actually keeps on saying that if you play with him, you are going to die politically, and they'll say, I finished so and so, I finished so and so, I finished and so and so. And even those who are playing with me, I'm going to finish them. You know, that kind of politics. They never say, I've been pulled for this period of time and I've built so and so, I've built the career of so and so, I've done this and that and that. It's just negative, finishing people. How do you expect such a people? It's very with them, but inakuwa tu ngumu.
Maybe one last question on that. Western Kenya, as per 2022 data from IEC, we are at 6.7 million voters that have been used and damned politically. If the United Opposition assumes power in 2027, how will you ensure Mlembe Nation's share is not sidelined, that our cake tumekatwa vizuri? Yes.
We shall just be fair to all Kenyans, because even the distribution of just public appointments, 6.7 million, for instance, those are voters. They represent what percentage of voters? That the percentage should be getting for every appointment, for every development project, for every this and that. And that applies to all communities. But today, people scramble to go into government so they can have undue advantage over other communities. And that's where the problem is. Now, when you're looking at affirmative action when it comes to development, lawyers, given our history, we should not even qualify for affirmative action. But we're going to be the first people for affirmative action. Because the entire community, yeah, we have got millions and millions of people who are poor. So now talking about the so-called traditionally marginalized communities, we must include lawyers in those communities. Yeah, because that's where we are. We are doing very badly. And people have had an undue advantage over others over the years. They'll get their share, but we believe that these other communities also should get a bit more of what they have been missing. And every community is supposed to get, let's say, 20 slots. And one community is given 2 slots. Those slots disappear because the 18 slots have gone somewhere else, some other community. You are big given slots that belong to one community. Sinakuja when you have got your own, au wengine wamenyang'anya because they are not in government, they are added to yours. You are being given undue advantage. Our responsibility, and I've been telling our people, let us not fight for the presidency just to be like people who are in power. That because we believe power is sweet, they are enjoying, we just want to replace them, and life goes on. If we do that, I've told them not once, not twice, that if we do that, I don't have what I want term, I don't even have term, 100 days will be out. Because Kenyans want results like today. You are elected today and tomorrow they want to see a proper formula. How are you going to create jobs for the unemployed youths? How are we going to promote farmers? You know, this thing, how are they going to improve our infrastructure? Look at the chaotic school system that we have now. The education system is chaos. Health system is chaos. SHA is not working. But some are just saying it's working, it's working. But those of us who are implementing, we are seeing there's a problem there. So Kenyans want results, they want results immediately. So if we go in thinking that we just want to go and become like Ruto and these ministers, we'll not last one term. We'll be out. So we are taking on a responsibility so huge, and I keep reminding them that the task ahead of us is so big. Don't just say that this thing will end with the elections. After winning elections, when the real work starts. And for me, I want for the first time in a long time, I want our people just to feel that they are part of government, they are being appreciated, they labor a lot, You can just pick a lawyer from the streets of Nairobi by the way they walk. They've been beaten completely, no confidence at all, you know. You can only be a watchman or a maid or, you know, that kind of big community to menial jobs like that. And then we become a band of jokes, saying, oh, they're just fine, and we laugh. It has a very big impact on when somebody like a president's aide comes to Western and is insulting, like the senator of Kakamega is being insulted by Farouk, and our children are listening, and the elders are clapping. How will that child grow up believing that they can become something? Yeah. So those are just small things that we need to address and address them very quickly. We just want to return human dignity to all Kenyans. That when you go to that table, you not hear a lot of noise about Mount Kenya or about Western. We're going to talk about Kenyans, and people will feel that indeed this is a government of all Kenyans.
And I'm just glad that you have mentioned about the odd jobs, about most lawyers getting odd jobs. So I just wanted to know maybe what do you think can be done to restore back the lawyer dignity and value?
No, our people are very hardworking. You go to schools, even when the results are announced, the top performing students are normally lawyers. Where do they go to? After that, because at the end of the day, you have people who peddle influence, and they're in government. So they're doing employment. If you don't have anybody anywhere to you meet with them, they're driving you are still hustling out there, because they're operating at a point of advantage. Politics has been used to create a field which is not level for it's created a lot of imbalances. So we want just to equalize opportunities. That if you've gone to school, and we promise you that education is key to it, not because the cabinet secretary is their cousin. Yeah, that's all we want to do. And of course, our people out there, many of them have left family. Find somebody that's left 5 acres of land in electoral, and the watchman in Nairobi, because land is not paying. You know, you grow your maize, you harvest very nicely. Where do you sell? The cartels come and pick all the maize because you don't have any money. So you're just caught up in the vicious cycle of poverty. So you look at your grandfather, your father, yourself, and then you are looking at your children. So no, we can those million jobs. You just go to Nairobi to hide. But now you went to school, your parents sold everything, they sold land, and you know you are being told that no, we are doing this for your brother. He's very bright. Then he comes back home to start writing about.
Still on dignity, Mheshimiwa. There's a time you spoke of, speaking of Nzoia sugar and other sugar mills, you said some of these mills were leased in a very controversial list to private dealers. And you said when you take over power, assuming that maybe the presidency, is that not scary to investors?
The president was very categorical when he was campaigning about reviving Nzoia sugar, for instance. And when he won the elections, he went to Bungoma and said there's a na kuna tu mambo matatu barai, mambo matatu. Ile wanasema mambo matatu, sijui ufanye nini, wamuende kwa Mungu. Yeah, those one. And then again very soon the president goes back and says, Rai ni mtu mzuri sana. He sells Nzoia to Rai. And when you look at the terms of that agreement, it's just you sell this land to a person for 30 years, an acre for 30 years, for 50,000 Kenya shillings. 30 years, 50,000 Kenya shillings. Meaning you are leasing an acre at 1,600 shillings. Per month. Per year. Per year. It's 50,000 shillings per annum. That's 1,600 shillings per year. It was a raw deal. And then after 30 years, they know maybe they'll not be there. 30 years will be very many years. That thing is supposed to revert back to the public. But nobody's talking about, there's nothing in those agreements talks about that land. There's a stadium there. There are four schools, 2 primary, 2 secondary schools. There's a manager's house, I think in Kileleshwa. And now we are being told even that piece of land has been shared. But the very people have been defending that transaction. So that nucleus does not belong to kuzoea sugar. It belongs to individuals who are going to farm sugar, you know, and at the end of 30 years, that land is going to go to those individuals. It's 24,000 acres, a lot of land. So for me, what I've said is that if we get power, not if when we get power in 2027, huyo muhindi tutamkimbiza bila hajawahi kuona. And we'll just do it extrajudiciary. I don't end up and told Kanu fellows to walk because it was public property. They taken title deeds and they walked. They went to court and they lost. Even this one, there's no way Rai is going to win against us, including Pan Paper. Yeah, even Pan Paper, even Mumias. You know, these guys have orchestrated poverty in Western. They have sold every industry in Western. We don't have a single industry in Western today that's publicly owned. All of them gone. It's an orchestration. Somebody has done this. Yeah. And when you make people very poor, it's easy for you to rule them. That's what they've done. And they really have caused a lot of damage. And we are going to do this without going to court because we are in a hurry to right the wrongs. So we may commit wrongs, but we are looking at the long-term good for the country. So me kama ningekuwa Rai, I'll not invest anything there. You can imagine even Rai is becoming a lawyer elder, Bukusu elder actually. He went with Lusaka to Bondo, to Mone Raila, and he was speaking on behalf of Bukusu there. It's so sad.
Is the governor on a malicious prosecution, which you have spoken a lot about, especially when EACC came here, banging your home, everything else, as common?
The current regime promised that they'll not use security agencies to do politics. For me, I don't want to make those kind of promises. Kenyans will just see what will happen. So we don't do politics like that. We just run the government using common sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then lastly, you made a lemon. Came on a rooftop from Kisumu, and something stood out. You landed in Kisumu, the lakeside city of Kisumu, then came all the way. When many Kakamega, then putting that in context with the legitimacy in the belief that the Luya leadership didn't have anything, was it coincidental?
No, I was coming home and Kenyans know when something has not been done properly, and our people demanded that I talk to them. Actually, I was just coming. I landed in Kisumu. I was coming home by the roadside, and they came out in large numbers. Because they've been listening to me, and my message was resonating with them. But there are people in government who believe that what we are saying cannot be silenced by silencing Natembeya. And I want them to get this message very clearly. Whatever they do to me is completely insignificant, is irrelevant. I don't have to be there. Because our people now know what they want. And anybody can lead them. Because we're saying we're going to Canaan. Anybody can take them to Canaan. But Canaan will reach. Yeah, no, it doesn't really matter what they do. This one, they've got they can't stop it. They can't interfere with it. They can't postpone it. It is here. Yeah, it is here, and we are going to go to Canaan because we have realized the potential that we have.
Maybe, Your Excellency, the last round of question under the topic of your political aspirations. Because when you announced your arrival into politics, people maybe never took you serious because you vied against somebody who was experienced per se in politics, Dr. Chris Omale, the transit from Kenya, and just 3 years in politics, and it's now the people who are demanding that you go for a higher seat. In the next 2 years, do you see yourself maybe, if the pressure mounts from the people, do you see yourself maybe defending your seat as governor, or will from the opposition, or that you will be the running mate of or of course that particular formation to remain intact. Do you see yourself succumbing to the pressure of going for a higher seat, a more wide base to ensure that maybe in the future, like let's say 2032, so that you can go for a higher seat?
No, the future is now. And for me, I came into this space. Your people more in politics and anywhere else, because politics is like politics about resource allocation, politics about public policies, about public programs, and so forth. So as governor, I believe I've done my bit to assist the people of Trans Nzoia. If Kenyans want me to take up new responsibilities, higher responsibilities, of course I'm ready. I was voted for by the people. I'll go for the presidency. Because like now, even governors are struggling because of the policies at the national level that are stifling resource allocation to the counties. A lot of bureaucracy. You know, you want to do certain things, you don't have resources. National government is interfering everywhere. They're flowing back on devolution. And looks like the national government can do anything and get away with it. So why can people who believe in devolution take over of power? And you know, when you enter politics, at whatever level as an MCA, and you are a proper politician, you must be ambitious. You know, you aspire to higher office. So if the stars are aligned, so in 2027, if Kenyans feel that Natembeya can be governor of Trans Nzoia, I'll say good. Because for me, I've served Kenyans for 26 years. I was an administrator. I rose to the high. You're basically like a PS, you're at the top there. So in government now, you need influence to become something else. But as a professional, a public servant, I read that. So if I'm convinced that if I fight for a higher office, the presidents that Kenyans voted for me, will vote for me, why should I not go for it? I'll definitely go for it. And you achieve anything without taking a risk. I'm looking at my people, and I'm looking them in the eye, and I'm asking them, do you want me to serve you at a different level? And if I'm convinced that indeed they're going to stand with me, because if you come with 6.7 million votes, you're going to be taken seriously, definitely. Raila, for the longest time, has not held any official position in government. Like even the one with the Ruto, there was nothing. Didn't hold an official position. The one with the Uhuru, it was just handshake. But the man died when he was the most powerful person in Kenya. Actually more powerful than the president. Even in terms of taking order, you go to a meeting where there's a president, deputy president, and him. Kindiki will talk and invite. If you have the numbers and you know you have the people, you'll have the necessary influence even in government without holding any official position to even influence development in your area. I'm saying when we are on that table and we are discussing who's going to run for president in 2027, my name will be there. And the argument will be, you don't need to vie for the president's wife. I'm coming with 6.7 million votes. Omnyoro is coming maybe with 8 million. Kalonzo is coming with maybe 3 million. Who else? Matiang'i maybe is coming with 1 million. Who else? And then you are saying a guy with 6.7 million can't be. So why not? Yeah.
Lakini mheshimiwa gavana, tunaelewa fika kwamba kila mmoja ako na malengo fulani katika maisha na hapa sasa tunasumulia maisha ya kisiasa.
Yes.
Umetoka katika RC, umeingia katika county ya Trans Nzoia. Ukija katika kaunti ya Trans Nzoia matatizo yalikuwepo na hata wewe mwenyewe unajua, wengi wanajua, Wakenya wanajua, na Wakenya wengi wamekupenda kwa muda mchache huu kwa sababu wanaona yale ambayo umefanya kwa muda wa miaka miwili labda na yale ambayo yalikuwepo kwa unapozungumzia kwamba future in politics na ulikuwa na manifesto yako ya miaka 5 watu wa Trans Nzoia kwa kuamini hauoni kwamba utakuwa unaacha uyatima fulani wa uongozi ambao ulikuwa na maono ukitoka kwenye kiti cha uwasi ukikuja hapa Trans Nzoia? Hauoni kwamba italeta tatizo na tena kaunti hii ya Trans Nzoia ambayo ilionekana sasa imeanza kupiga hatua irudi pale pale ambako mlikuwa mnapiga siasa mkisema kwamba kwa miaka 10 hakuna maendeleo?
La hasha, kwa sababu nikikuwa president wa taifa la Kenya, Trans Nzoia bado itakuwa Kenya. Na bado nitakuwa rais wa Trans Nzoia. Wakazi wa Trans Nzoia kwamba kwanza watapata faida kubwa sana, maana mimi mwenyewe ni mkazi wa Trans Nzoia. Nitakuwa na haja sana kujua nini kinaendelea katika my home county. Itakuwa county number 1, vile Baringo ilikuwa county number 1, vile Uasin Gishu ni county number 1, sasa Trans Nzoia itakuwa county number 1. Ndio maendeleo yatakuja. Ni jambo gani tumefanya, ni msingi gani tumeweka kuhakikisha kwamba hata viongozi wengine ambao wanakuja baada ya mimi wasikuja kuharibu ile foundation ambayo tumeweka. Na kwa sasa tumejaribu kadri wetu kuhakikisha kwamba wakazi wa Trans Nzoia wana participate katika masuala ya serikali, kwamba kuna uwezekano miradi ya serikali kufanywa na kukamilika, kwamba kuna uwezekano kufanya social activities, kwa mfano kama kununua mbegu, kupatia watoto maziwa, kuweka basari, kutumia fedha za serikali na ifikie pia watu kuja. Ikiwa nitatoka, sijasema nitatoka, ikiwa nitatoka na mtu mwingine aje, watakuwa na muda zile fedha Natembeya alikuwa anatumia zilitoka wapi. Sasa hiyo unasema kuna fedha. Bila sasa wanashangaa kwani fedha zilikuwa wapi. Tunajenga stadium, tumejenga hospitali, tumejenga headquarter, tunapatia watoto maziwa, tunapeana basari, tunapeana mbegu, na mbegu tunapeana almost kila mtu. Tumetengeneza barabara. So wanasema hizo fedha zilikuwa wapi. Na Trans Nzoia ni cosmopolitan. Naamini kama wanaweza kuongoza Trans Nzoia, wanaweza kuongoza taifa la Kenya. Maana jamii zote za Kenya ziko hapa. Kia kwamba kuna jamii inanungunia kwamba Natembeya hajawafanyia maendeleo. Ukiona wale wananungunika ni wale wa kabila tu. Hata ukimfanyia nini? Ukimfanyia jambo zaidi anasema bora anafanyia hivi na sio mtu wa jamii yangu. Otherwise hata mambo ya public appointments, serikali yangu tumebalance jamii zote. Tumebalance mambo ya jinsia. Na haya ndio mambo national level. Wakati mwingine mimi fear yangu huwa ni kwamba labda ukikaa kwa siasa sana kabla uende kule juu, unaanza kujiingiza kwenye ile culture ya wanasiasa. Na mara nyingine ni culture hii ya uongo, kudanganya watu. So utakaa hapa Trans Nzoia miaka 10, ukaenda kule juu umekuwa kama wanasiasa wale wengine. Unakuwa ni mtu wa kuongea tu uongo, mnakuwa kama familia kule juu, mnakubaliana. Leo tukienda mkoa kule Trans Nzoia, twende tutukanane sana. Watu waone tumepitana. Tunaondoka na magari tofauti, lakini tufike Eldoret tunapanda ndege moja, tunaenda kwa club moja. Kuangalia vile watu wanapigana nyumbani. Hiyo siasa ambayo sisi hatutaki. Lakini licha yote kusema ni Wakenya tu ndio wataamua. Mimi napenda kaunti yangu sana, na nitaridhika hata nikikuwa tena gavana miaka mingine mitano. I am really enjoying myself working with my people. I'm always here. By the way, mimi kusafiri kutoka nje ya Kenya tangu nichaguliwe. Hata kwenda hapa Uganda sijawahi. Mimi nafanyia watu wangu kazi. Zile fedha ambazo watu wanatumia kusafiri ndio fedha mimi natumia kupatia watoto wetu. Hakuna. Ile umbali mimi nimeenda ni Mombasa tu. Sijaenda. Hata ukiona wakati wana audit amesema kulikuwa na usafiri. Mara nyingi ukiangalia ni MCS ndio wamesafiri. Lakini mimi na my executive kazi yetu kuchapa kazi. Tunafanya kazi tu like normal civil service. Saa 2 mpaka jioni. Yeah. Weekend kama masi sisi wako kazi because kuna allowance ambao wanalipo extended data allowance. Sema kama ni weekend. Hivyo ndio tunafanya tu kazi. So mimi I'm having fun. Even as I work for my people, I'm having fun. Na ningependa sana pia second term as a governor. Na mimi husema kwamba sio lazima mimi nikuwa ndio kiongozi wa Waluhya kule mbele. Waluhya akiona kwamba kuna mwingine ambaye labda anamshinda Natembeya kidogo akuwe kiongozi wao kwa sasa. Yeah. Na kama wale ambao wanasema hao kwa mimi what I'll point out sema pana, nyinyi mnasema ni yule lakini namjua. Kwa hivyo na hivi. Mnasema ni huyu namjua. Lakini wakisema sawa, hata kama ni hivyo, acha wao kwa mbele, mimi nasema fine. Wacha waendelee, wacha mimi nifanye kazi wapi? Hapa Trans Nzoia, good heart, bila shida, bila nini, maana mimi lengo langu la kuja kwa siasa ilikuwa ni kujaribu kusaidia watu wetu.
Labda tu kumalizia kwa ile wachana. Governor hasafiri, huko kwingine wanasafiri kutafuta wafadhili unapata vipi?
So shida ni kwamba mimi waangalia wale ambao wanasafiri kituambia kwamba enda kutafuta wafadhili, wanakuja wafadhili vizuri. Sema tunaenda pale tumesaini mkataba watakuja huko factory hapa kwetu. Wamesema kwamba vijana wote wataenda kufanya kazi kule. Watakuja kutufanyia hili, mimi nangoja naangalia. Hakuna ile linafanyika na fedha zimetumika. Sio rahisi kwenda kupata wafadhili tu kuja watoe kule ng'ambo waje hapa. Wakuja kuja labda kuja kuinvest hapo kwa sababu gavana ameenda pale. The world is a global village now. Yeah. Hawa jamaa wanajua mahali kuna opportunities. Na wanajua kija Kenya mazingira ya kufanya kazi yako namna gani. Wanajua. So hata kama gavana wanaenda kule America kwenda kutafuta wafadhili ama investors, waambia kuja mkaweka factory hapa Kenya. Na wanaangalia wa tax regime. Taxes zetu kwamba ziko juu sana. Haya, hata tu kuregister tu biashara Kenya. The process is so long. Wanajua. So ikienda kwa ukiambia namna gani, hata ukiwa convince bado watafanya some background check na wanaambia hapana. Si wengi wale ambao wako hapa pia wako na other branches elsewhere, na wote wanahama. Wameenda Rwanda, wameenda Tanzania. Wanaangalia mbona biashara wanahama kutoka taifa la Kenya. Wanatoroka. Na wameenda kule Switzerland kwenda kutafuta investor ama France, atuwakuje Kenya. Hawatakuja. Mtasaini hizo vitu na hawatakuja. Watafanya nini? Because just PR. So why mbona nipoteza fedha za kaunti ya Trans Nzoia kwenda kusafiri ati kwenda kutafuta wawekezaji katika kaunti ya Trans Nzoia nikijua tu kwamba hawatakuja. Kwa sababu zile policies na program national government zimehakikisha kwamba hakuna mtu atakuja kuinvest hapa. So unaweza kwenda pale is a good thing kusema kwamba umekwenda kutafuta investors, but the actual fact kwamba umeenda holiday bana, umeenda kwenda kujienjoy huko, lakini lazima uzaambie okay nimeenda holiday, lazima useme nimeenda kutafuta investors.
Ukiwa rais ulisema kwamba uta break the jinx kutoka kwa Kikuyu Kalenjin. Ulimaanisha nini? Kwamba ukitoka ukiacha uongozi hauwezi rudisha sword kwa Kalenjin, ama hauwezi rudisha sword kwa Kikuyu ama kwa
kwa mfano kama Mluya atapata kuwa rais wa Kenya, ule ujumbe ambao utaendea wa Kenya wengine kwamba inawezekana kuwa rais hata kama sio Mkikuyu wala Mkalenjin. Sasa hizi tuko Kenya lazima kuwe Mkikuyu ama kuwe Mkalenjin. And how do you convince them otherwise? Maana wenyewe wanaangalia tumekuwa independent for about 3 years now. Tumekuwa tuna marais watano wote wanatoka kwa jamii mbili. Actually Uhuru and succeed Kibaki. Sasa hizi Ruto amekuja. So watoto wetu tu jamii zote wanaamini tu kwa president. First qualification you must be a Kikuyu, we must be a Kalenjin. So mtu mwingine akikuja pale itapatia nafasi pia watoto wa jamii zingine pia kuanza kuota. Study dream is possible kuwa rais wa Kenya. Hata kama sio Mkikuyu na Mkalenjin. Na itafanyika hivyo tu. Sidhani kama itakuwa rahisi tena jamii moja ama jamii mbili kudominate the presidency in Kenya once we break that jinx, because that jinx must be broken. It's a jinx, that jinx. Luckily we do not have any strong Kalenjin in our camp, wana wote wako kwa serikali. Na ukiangalia jamii ya Mount Kenya pia wamesema kwa sasa wanataka wafikie wa jamii zingine katika taifa la Kenya wajaribu kuwa rais na deputy president. Hiyo ndio usemi ambao wanatuambia. Kwa hivyo kuna uwezekano sasa tukiweka a strong candidate kwa upande wa upinzani, kuna uwezekano mkubwa za kuvunja hiyo laana hiyo.
So maybe Your Excellency, unless there is a burning question, because we are requesting maybe December, haitaona habari Western, unless there is a burning question. One and after the request is Excellency to be ironical that tumekuja hapa na Luya TV, tutakuwa prepare maybe part for Luya TV for consumption of our people, of course.
Now, the Tawe movement has been a loud song, especially in Western Kenya. Do you ever envision making it a political party where, of course, you're the leader?
The paradox to that question is that I just saw in the newspaper that there had been over 100 applications for registration of Tawe as a political party, even before I made an attempt myself. Kenyans were so much ahead of me, they already made those applications, and the register of political parties had declined. And I'm told one of the leaders in the Western wrote a letter to the office of the register of political parties saying that the Tawe is a movement which is meant to hound leaders out of office. And therefore, everybody who made an application for Tawe to be registered as a political party was declined. And I don't think even the president can allow anything associated with me to be registered as a political party. He must win Western. Without Western in the matrix, hata ifanya namna gani, he won't win. That's why we took the obsession with Western. And anybody who wants to disturb that apple cart, analeta matatizo mengi sana. So they don't want me to be a serious political player. But we are saying, not ask for permission. Yeah, we'll still influence how our people are going to vote in 2027. So Tawe causes them nightmares. I know. It's become our rallying call, and we are rejecting very bad. We're not rejecting good things. We're just rejecting tribalism, discrimination, bad governance, high taxes, unemployment, all those things. We're just rejecting them. And Kenyans, not just people from Western, even other Kenyans are really They've really embraced Tawe. You go to Meru, you find Tawe there. You go to Coast, you find Tawe is everywhere. It's just says Tawe, just say, and that. Yeah, so it's going to be a rallying call for us, whatever political formation we're going to be, but away from government. That one, I want to make it very, very clear. So the only way to soil you again, they want to associate you with themselves. So utasikia Natembeya sio ameongea na nani, Natembeya sio ameongea na nani. Amekuwa na mkutano na nani. Themselves, even the government bloggers, they understand. I find it very interesting. Because they know that they're extremely unpopular, so they want to associate you with them.
There was a claim that you had next government as a right to buy a freedom means ESC raiding last time.
So between CSC Indira and Governor for Trans Nzoia, which is bigger? Let us just be honest. Between NSCS, including that Mudavadi position, and the governor of any county, in terms of pecking, which is bigger?
The one is executive.
Yeah, you cannot leave governor and aspire to be a CS, unless all you want just to serve, not because you think it's a better position than the governor. Yeah, look at the constitution. But the constitution actually ranks the president and governor. Yeah, but wanataka kufinya counties, but we have 48 consult at the level called summit that will just brings together the president and governors. Yeah, that's what the constitution envisaged. But now, I was telling by my colleagues where they find 10 governors are going to meet one CS. You'll never see me in that kind of delegation. I will not go. So where's the end? Yeah, so anybody said that we reached a deal for Mount B to become CS interior. Wanini hata kama ni mkubwa mgawa nitakana kuwa serikali sio wangu. Hata hiyo nataka
Look at the budget.
See, and you say again, when you are a national government, you are a CS. You can do whatever you want to do, you can still. Nobody will ask you, have you seen ESC talking to any CS? And it's common knowledge out there that they're stealing. But you'll never see them being questioned by anybody. So people go to government for political cover. And that's the kind of culture I want to kill. Government actually can sacrifice something bigger and go for something smaller. Purposely because public service is about service. It's not about yourself. Like you go to America, somebody will leave a high-paying job and just go and them talking about allowances. Never ever, you'll never hear somebody stabling emotion and talk about allowances. Because it's never about money. It's about service. And if they find your hand in the till, you go in before anybody points a finger. You want to become CS, you want to become that. It's for very nefarious reasons. It's got nothing to do with service to the people. So all those stories about, we have reached a deal, we have done that and that.
Excellency, you're perfect in dialect. So Boaz is very ready for a parting shot. Maybe a rally call to the people of Mulembe in terms of how they should be organizing themselves in terms of politics now that we have this new kid on the block in terms of giving direction politically.
Which one? Yeah.
Governor, shinda bakwele sina ngo Boaz. Akulambia TV. Ndikombere makoko kana makulo makoso fundisha kwa sababu sidaka ngatsiveni. Ole malumira bashinga insu ya Mulembe, ndaya Mulembe. Emyaka kitachi nombe myaka chakabura bakatsoka mundu bindi sana. Bakatsoka mshimwero shindi sana. Tsanga tatarisha ndesaba. Mo shitoshtitishe matesha malava. Tunshtitisha kisa East ya Mlende Kapchai. Kama lemira koko insu ya Mulembe kakabambo kisale sho mwito kukula shingana opposition. Hitoko wesu ya isifa china oliyali shina munzu ya Mulembe. Alafu tu mwami governor ndiyo kureba kuhira batofauti olali chilo muluya. Insu ya Mulembe lumwatio kuikusi mwami Raila Amolo Odinga mwatia ndabakofu. Ahora no malama mwami Ken Lusaka nda okorula kando Polo Tuma Governor Kamega chichira shina mula teshinga na bakale njini batia indandanga undala bola undu mwatoko kisa shinga wino mukari munzu ya Mulembe nomba mwatia shingana awuluya lonzi yamulemu kulanzira bona umwami governor sitaka sitonyitsi great tarutsino ufundishira apembendule
bandu befe baluya siasa seli mbitawe lakini siasa iye epanga maisha kefe imiaka kimikali fepe kwa umie sikeza kupanga siasa yefe bula itawe uli bandu bakali welekayo walwe bulolula lulusaya bulende bana bakali sana bandu kwa ibulwa bakali mu Kenya population yefe namba 2 kuli karibu hata kwenya kukila bakikuyu lakini kama kwa kama muhimu ke msibala kuna kakapangwa kumeza ngene yefata kuliko kwa Tawe sikiliza kupanga siasa yefe bula ita no janga malave yenyu ala bandu bala benya kuchei bandi benya kuchei kwa bolde kupila panyako ekura sila panyako ni candidate wewe bulija mimi Kenya eno kayipanga namukepanga Tawe na babapanga bamilenje batile umundu bali nakwa kumukono bali benya be MP Kenya kana kuirebe sina sikila babandu kwa menje wakakameka bandu ba menje wa Malava bandi bekasi sakaja kulla bandu befe ba Malava ekasta ono bandu befe murekerisa kila siasa bandu bapanganga siasa se hapenanga bali kunyoka na siasa hapa hapen bakamupira mundu la kura Tawe bandu bekhalangasi na bapanga na bafukilisana oja baki kuyu base bano bapanganga barwa bakalenjini bano bakapanganga bakalenjini bakampa bapanganga wala kuja kupira mundu fulani nifuna la viongozi ba Western Face walio sai wafikiri bandu ba Malava mupile panya ke kura wala bala mwapila panya ke kura abaheshima yefe bandu ba Western ya kobole madarau ke bandu kwa menje very small people beja kupanga yefe kama na kaba ka kula kana kawele ada bandu ba Kisa East mupile kijana bale ayaya sikila ayaya ni candidate wefe yafe kwa ulta nende kashagwa kuli DCP ebesi ya masha mountain yeye because we are brothers enena bakule khele fwepo bakheja bakona kila chikura ta ono bandu ba Kisa East mwezi kujikomboa mupile ayaya Abraham ayaya yakura abandu be capture yeje Jumamosi kuba hebo sipamba ishida jefwe cho zi captain uchita jefwe cho kama capture bali speaker wa National Assembly kapa sifu basana kana kape bandu nende kimini kana temani abantu kile ya mina so khile kura na balanga sabani bakamala siasa kama la omunyinyi kama la Nseli kama la Kombo kama la Kanani sasa ba kwa ne anomba kwa mundu fulani mpaka mundu fulani unajua kumutambo kwa Western ulikumbo sana yefefe kwa kitole akhumie kila kwenya kwa bandu befe sese nyana kwa bandu befwe ka bandu bose barekera kama kwandiko kubabolela Tawe ono bandu ba Malava wele kamrere mu nafasi eli embofu sana kila kholabolanga babefwe na bandu basali befwe na bakhwipanga kwa 2027 kuli tayari kuja bukwema bu president lakini bakureba lakini baluya sangwe jaende bula la Tawe sangwe janga United Tawe ona bandu ba Malava wele kamwele nafasi ukwo kesi bala Kenya mlimo mwapa chikura la mwapiro mundu wenye omwene undi bula ibulio omundu yakupya kuwenga mukono panyako so kompiane ndo mundu bali ndakwa yo Tawe kwanza ndakwa mulubu kusule maisha mundu kakwa hale upela ndakwa hiyo katayari ni bad omen uzijaribu kwenda huko upile panyako ekura and from there heshima ya muluya la itakuwa mengi kama na kwenda sasa abantu ba Malava kula bayo mutulinde bake ni befwe kulomba kama kwa bulai bala mutile kuyo kabisa ofukila abantu kokupanga rundu Tawe chikazi cha Kenya najua kana cha polisi cha mjeshi cha uwalimu so nyola kwa bandu wa Western banyole nafasi Tawe sasa kama panga kuja kukabana nafasi yetu za ukurange waserire na banula abana kwa kwa wacha musuwanja sina ba kuwe borai utakanya kule kwa college ende bakupe kama kumwatla kama yindi ngengoko yelu kingia pale ndani bakufunika nenda lute oluba ja huko ukukata hiyo mambo sisi kama wale Kenya kana kule kurena uleka so bandu wa Malava naomba kabisa eze kwanza nje kana nje kuba sababu jigolo wanita kama masika mwenye mupile panya kwa kurata kenya na kwa kuna kulipanya kwa ni omla ifenga wale fanya kuja that direction kwenye ngatakuja that direction kama kuwaka kuli la Raila kecha usiha omala kijana ngakafwa keja kamula kugemila yaba nyolo pala mali jowi na cha mala kwa mala hapo na pepo balu yafwe zo kunga ngata Raila upande wa siasa fwesi kuplanga sa Raila hata nolata mudavadi gavana wa bigo mundu wa ODM hata MCA wewe mundu wa ODM wamina kuliraila keja kasto kumukasa kwefe kachane na bwani desenga nama nje Kisumu nje Bondo nabaja nende basafu baja nende chakafu mala kwaja kulanga balu yanga balilanga ya saja kula manani jowe naja nalo machiro moje pa kulumanga mala ne asema sikamwena hiyo mala nare kuha hata maji bega tukunywa na kwayo nenda kika ndi kumukasa kwefe nikwa na kamkula pa kokobosi abandi bana bose bola abantu babona bakutiba Natembeya kachile na bose banja kuti maana jakafu chibiri bafu alde bikutwa kumurwe balio balala baro lakini abele kumusango kwa kumali nenda jakafu 15 nenda kama gunia 15 tuwa symbolic ya Raila isikafu ataka 15 baka lingine bado jakafu chingali I think it was over 60 million kwanga lakini bachanga sababu wasikaba na sababu bachanga jakafu ni wala 60 azimio I went them in that regard kama kiongozi wewe bandu bana bose bachanga like kama kiongozi wawe Tawe efe kwa chebwe nende lakini tukulenda sisi tuenda wacha kukobosha kumukasa kwefe ni kwa Raila bereka kabukula mala bandu beba bakabone kama la 2027 akanje tarehe 27 2027 bakabone report kama kwa Kenya kanzo ya sugar ile story ya Mumiasi ile story ya pan pepper ile story ya Kitinda ile chosi serikali ya Raj Factories chosi industries chosi mu Western na mangi lemuli serikali seranga chikasi kibiranga mu private sector industry ngene cyandika babantu so cheka ze factory nga ya Mumiasi na ya kanzo ya walomoli yakolanga losses every year therefore you sell it Tawe and the bigger impact the responsibility ya serikali ya kishile kwamba factory kinajenda kwa kazi rajandika abantu bakali balipa kimishahara hata bali na balipa iseni che boli mwawe seni circulator in the local economy na abantu banende buyi lakini serikali yenyu she factory nyingi yose yakifunga kindi yakusi no just nzo ya sai bafanyikazi boss wamefutwa kazi badala baende karibu 400 bamegile nzo yeyo bamegisa mu dormitory bakole kazi kwene kwa kwa nafasi mwaka 2027 kwa nyola bwami oja kwete mani abakora bana boss emali ya feke cha kukobola nganzoya balio bandu bawuya nzoya baba wuyise serikali yabawusha by force ya bukembe bale habuli mebwabwe serikali yomba ke factory yabwena abantu bakamwile history tawe no beja na mabala kuja kukuza zabuli mena mudaki kolela bakubabe abantu bale bakole privatization but it's not true mulala wa kitaifa wakabana bole 24,000 acres bavyango walikuwa shambuli mekonovo buli kumwaka bali bashingira 1,600 chonga saino chabu kembe na nyoko shambuli mata kwa lima 30 ye kandala usidingi jela kwa 50 chonga mimi buli kumwaka shingira 1,600 wametwa ripesi rasilimali yetu ndefu kwenye abantu befe mkuwe kamani kada ukile kura lakini kengela mserikali na yeta abantu babwe efwepe kwenye mkupile kura sikila ngabineto opposition basi balamba kupile kura bakamba bape kura bakise bape kura ndawe balu ya kwape kura ada ruto ka heba reno sanyala tu na kengela mserikali na kamani kwanja hungwa na bindi bantu bonovo abana bonaka mukhala kujo